Billion times. I know what to
Hi,
do.
I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Adam Chisnall for an interview today. How are you?
Hey, hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Kathy?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. Do we mind starting the interview with you introducing yourself and letting people know who you are and things like that?
Sure. My name is Adam Chisnall. I am an actor that's been in about, I think maybe over 60 of these verticals. I've done a lot, all
Wow,
kinds
a
of
lot.
roles, uh, played all kinds of characters. And yeah, live in LA. I'm a Scorpio. I'm single, looking for love. I'll be 40 in November.
Yeah,
And yeah, I live right smack dab in the middle of Hollywood. I'm a hop, skip, and a jump to Hollywood Boulevard with all the stars of names of celebrities.
lovely.
And one day, vertical actors will be on that Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Absolutely. I am all for that, and I believe that 100%.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I
Yep.
believe it too.
Yep. Yep. One day when I get there, your name's going to be in that star. I know it.
Well, we'll see. Well, I'll knock on wood.
Yep. All right. Well, I have some questions for you today. Um, as a director and actor, how does the creative control of directing compare to taking directions as an actor?
Ooh, that's a very good first question. All right,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
How does it compare? Well, when I was a director, I felt I was a better director because I was an actor and I knew how it felt to be directed by all kinds of directors. Uh, so the question is talking about the challenges. Is that what we're asking?
Yeah, so like how do you compare like the directing, like giving directions rather than taking directions as an actor?
Giving directions. I'll go with this. Okay, taking directions, you learn to A, never take it personally.
Yeah.
Uh, B, it's part of your job as an actor. Your job is to get and receive notes and make an adjustment. And sometimes as an actor, you agree with those notes. There's sometimes you're like, I don't really agree with these notes. I've done some verticals where I'm like, what the heck are they wanting me to do? But I say, Adam, this is a job. You're getting paid, and you're just gonna suck it up and do it because in the long run, it's not that serious. It's a vertical.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just learn to take notes and never take it personally.
Yeah. And I've found by doing these interviews, a lot of directors are quite open to your opinions about the script as well.
Yeah, I say in the vertical world, it's a mixture of that. Because sometimes there's so many pages, as you probably know this information, there's so many pages
Yeah.
within a day that there really is no time for a director to really work with an actor, which eventually I hope that changes because that's not great for the actor, nor is it great for the director.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes yeah, no, I get to like, hey, I think this is a good idea to improv this line here. Or, some directors, there's a director named Longway who I've worked with many times. Uh, and he sort of trusts me in letting me improv lines and different moments. Uh, and he likes it, or he might come back and say, let's try something else. And we've already built that trust,
Yeah.
which is always fun to have, especially on a set with the verticals where there's not enough time to really create and collaborate.
Yeah. And I assume that like the more time you spend with these people, that trust just builds between you guys and you end up knowing what each other likes as well.
Yeah, definitely. And don't get me wrong, there are times on verticals where I might try something and it's not at all what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's where I just got to be like, eat a piece of humble pie and,
Hmm.
give them what they want. Sometimes they want just bigger reactions and bigger, bigger, bigger. And in
Yes.
my mind, I'm
Yes.
like, I think this is so big, but
Over dramatized, so to speak.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh, some directors are like that on these verticals. Not at all. They don't want it that big. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
depends.
I heard that's mostly the case with the villain roles. They want the villain roles to be more dramatized than anything.
Yeah, and I love being big.
Nothing wrong with being big.
I think it's fun. I mean, I come from a musical theater background where I think vertical acting is also kind of like musical theater acting,
Yeah.
where it's very big and over the top. And the villains, when I do get to play a villain, I think those are the most fun because um, you get to be silly and over the top and ridiculous because these characters are all of that silly, over the top, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes I prefer playing the villain when I get the
Yeah.
chance.
You're the third interview this week that has told me that they enjoy being the villain more than, yeah. So that's interesting.
I think also I've never been a lead character, but I feel like the leads are a lot more particular with
Mm,
not being. I think they want them to be, sexy or helpless or stuff like that. Where the villains, you don't have to be that. You just got to be
yeah.
a complete asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Having acted in a wide range of roles, how do you approach building a character when the story is told in short and often fragmented episodes?
How do I approach building a character? I mean, I'm going to toot my own horn here. I have had a lot of training in acting.
Yeah.
So I just grab, sometimes we call it a kit, where it's like an imaginary bag of tools I have in my bag, and I take those tools and I bring them to a character.
Yeah.
Uh, because, like we've mentioned, there's not enough time in these verticals to have rehearsal or try things, or maybe this character is this way, or maybe this character is that way, which I wish we did have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I just take from my kit and be like, okay, this character is kind of similar to, this past character that I played, or maybe I take a little from here and a little from there and mash it together to make a specific character. Um,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I do. I
I've heard
wish
some
I
of
could
these.
be,
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
No,
was going to
you're
say, I
right.
wish I could go into more depth. Like, okay, I take the script and I, write the beats and I study the character. But a lot of these verticals, A, there's no time, and B,
Yeah.
a lot of the writing is kind of like surface level for some of these.
Yeah.
So there's really no like subtext or any of that going on.
I think every vertical would benefit from having a table read first.
Yes,
Yeah.
sometimes I've been on some that they do have a table read.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, I think everyone needs at least one table read. That would, yeah.
Yeah, there is times where I read a script or I don't even read the full script. I just read the parts that I'm in, and I'm like, how did anyone read this before they decided to produce this? Because there's tons of plot holes and lack of character development. I just did one 3 weeks ago where my character was in a scene, then all of a sudden he disappeared, and then he just reappeared magically
Oh,
somehow. And
okay.
yeah. I
Interesting.
mean, I think they're going to make it work. But once again, this is not my job. My job is
Yeah.
not to be like, well, why did my character disappear? That's you guys to figure out. I'm going to do it. You guys pay me. We're good to go.
Yeah, you do your part, the rest they have to deal with and work out themselves. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I also heard that sometimes you don't get the whole script. You only get your parts. Um, so
Yes.
I think
Depending
it
on the part you get,
benefit from everybody getting one.
yeah, it just depends on the part you get. Uh,
Mm,
the bigger the part, the more they're going to send you the script. But if it's like a simple day player with one or two lines, you most likely are not getting the script.
yeah. But it'd still be nice to know the story as to the part that you're playing in that story. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And do you come from an acting or theater background at all?
No, I
No.
don't. I enjoy
Ah,
watching theater, but that's about it.
okay. I would assume that you did with these great questions that you're asking. Uh,
No, I do research.
that's important. But yeah, your job as an actor ideally is to read the entire script to understand who your character is, where your character comes into this story, why your character is important to the story, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Yep. That's fair. Okay. Um, okay. Directing can be an act of like empathy as much as vision. When you're in the director's seat, what do you try to offer actors that perhaps you've wished for in a performance yourself?
I come from a background of directing theater. I've never directed a vertical or really any media, but I'm interested in doing that.
Yeah.
That's a whole side note. Uh, Definitely putting myself in the actor's shoes. Maybe they're having a frustrating day of rehearsals because that just that just happens.
Yeah.
Uh, not giving uh, line reads,
Mm.
not telling them directly how I want them to say the line, uh, going around the way you want them to say the line. Excuse me. It's kind of like a science. Like, how can I get this actor to say how I kind of want them to say it without telling me how to say it?
Yeah.
Uh, and so, I mean, it could just be with a different intention. It could be maybe your character. Sometimes I use like an animal, like, okay, your character in this moment is a snake and they're waiting
Mm.
to attack their prey. Uh, Visuals like that to help the actor, because sometimes
Yeah.
you get a director who I feel like has not been an actor. They don't know what it's like to be an actor.
Yes. Yes.
um and you can tell that because they get frustrated, they're not getting what they want from you, and they just tell them, you tell the director tells you kind of, they just basically give you a line read. And that's not so great.
No. You'd have a better understanding of how to direct if you've been an actor yourself. Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, I
Yes. Yes.
it's it's very important. I think really in all kinds of art form, whether theater or film, TV, working crew, being a director, being a producer, learning kind of all aspects of how something works is important, so that you have a better appreciation and a better understanding of how the whole production is put together.
Yes. How long were you directing theatre for?
I directed theater in high school. I got a group of my friends together to put shows like Little Shop of Horrors and the Rocky Horror Show together in my basement. And that's where I started directing. Um, then, when I lived in New York City for 10 years, I would direct a bunch of these weird avant garde, off Broadway plays. Never studied directing, never, I just knew how to direct by being an actor and being
Yeah.
in plays. And just like you go, you see theater, and I just studied so much theater and
Mm.
studied production. And um, yeah, I don't know if I just went off on a tangent there, but
That's okay. Tangents are welcome.
yeah, that's how I did some directing. And when I first got to LA, I directed a really cool theater piece. This was during COVID,
Yeah.
but the play was performed outside. Uh,
Okay.
that was really cool. It was in someone's backyard, out of all places. Um,
Nice.
and that was the last time I directed, but it's still on my mind to direct, because I do love doing that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I hopefully one day you get to direct film too. That would be
Yeah,
cool. That
I'm
would be cool.
definitely interested in that. I think commercials would be cool to direct, because a lot of those times
Yeah.
those are, they're funny. They're, I like comedy. That's my favorite. So
Yeah.
anything with comedy, I like to work on.
That's good. Do you have a favorite theater act?
Like a theater actor.
Like a play? Do you have a favorite play?
Oh, favorite play. I mean, I always go with musicals. My favorite, like, I
Yeah.
love The Producers.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Nathan Lane. Growing up, I would listen to uh, the soundtracks that he was in, from Guys and Dolls to the producers to Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum to even The Lion King when he voiced Timon.
Oh, I would
Nathan,
love to see The Lion King.
you not seen the movie?
Oh, I've seen the movie, but I mean in the
Oh,
play, I would love to. Yeah, I've
oh yeah.
seen. So I didn't see my first play until last year.
Oh my gosh.
I've been very sheltered. So
Okay.
Greece was my first, and that was incredible. I still think it's my favorite, but I think that was just because it was the experience of being my first, and it was so lively and happy, and just it was fantastic. Um, and then I went and saw Hairspray, and I've never actually seen the movie for that. So that was a whole new experience. And then I saw Wicked, and that was brilliant. But I've never actually seen the second part because it's not out yet of the movie. So I figured out how it ended before watching the second half of the film, but they will be different. So
Do you know how it ends? Because you saw
no,
this.
I know how it
Oh,
ends in by play now, by like the play, but not the movie. But yeah,
got
um,
it.
but that kind of made me feel better going into the second part because then I know what to expect.
Yeah, I am
Um,
so looking forward to that second part of Wicked.
oh, me too. I've actually got a premiere ticket already for the first day that it's
Oh,
out, so I'm excited to go
are you
see
gonna
that.
dress up?
Pardon?
Are you gonna dress up?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's the
Oh,
day before my birthday that it comes
oh my
out,
God,
so that's a nice treat.
that's
And then I saw Sister Act.
yes,
Yep. And
Sister
then the
Act.
last one I saw just not long ago was Beauty and the Beast. And
Oh,
that one made me cry. Yeah.
that I think I've seen all of those on Broadway. I used to live, growing up, I was a spoiled only child. I'm very lucky, very
Yeah.
fortunate. I had
Yeah.
parents that took me to Broadway a lot, so I saw all those
That's
shows.
cool.
Yeah, I'm a very lucky individual. And I
Yeah.
lived about an hour, 10 minutes from New York City. So they took
Yes.
me to see, Hairspray and Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and all those wonderful shows. Grease.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to about this, but you obviously know the show Heartstopper, I'm assuming.
Wait, how do I? Oh, it's not the play. It's a
No,
TV
sorry,
series.
the TV series, yes.
I've heard it. I don't know it that well.
Oh, I highly recommend watching that.
Yeah,
It's
I feel like others have
amazing.
recommended it to me.
Yeah, 100% recommend it. It's my favorite show. Um, but
Besides
both of those,
Verticals.
yes, except verticals.
Besides Verticals.
Yeah, they're different. They're different. Um,
Fair.
but the two leads for that have both been on Broadway recently. So Kit Connor played in Romeo and Juliet,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
Joe Locke played in Sweeney Todd.
Yes, I know those two actors. I know Heartstopper,
Yeah.
right? Heartstopper, not Heartstepper. That would be a different show. Uh, yes, I have. People have recommended this to me. I have not watched it, but
Mm.
I know. I think I will probably definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, it changed my life, that's for sure.
Ah, okay, that's a big statement, right?
Yeah, and I don't even read books. I'm not a big reader. But they're graphic novels and I own all of them. Like,
Oh, they're graphic novels.
yes, and it's the best book to screen adaptation I've ever seen. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's
Well, then I will put that on my radar for sure.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And they actually got another one coming out, which is the final one, but they're turning that into a movie instead of a series.
Oh, wow.
So the
How
last one is movie.
many seasons is Heartstopper?
There's three at the moment, and then the
Okay.
fourth one's going to be a movie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Real interesting. Who knows? Maybe they'll turn it into a play or a
Oh,
musical.
I'd love that. That would be cool.
That
Since
could be a
both
thing.
of them know and both of them have been on Broadway, that would
Yeah.
make, yes, actually, a lot of the stars in that show have been in theatre. So,
Oh, interesting.
and a
Is
lot of them can sing. So,
does it take place in New York City?
yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That makes
yeah. So you know Kit Connor, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He played little Elton John in Rocket Man.
I haven't seen Rocket Man. I'm one of those people
Okay.
like, have you seen this movie? I'm like, I haven't seen that movie. There's a
No,
lot.
no, that's okay. I mean, I hadn't seen Rocket Man before Heartstopper, but I was like, oh, Kit Connor's in it. And then it's really weird to see him being like young from that point. But yeah. But
Okay.
yes, highly recommend it.
Heartstopper. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you've become a familiar face in vertical dramas. What do you think vertical storytelling offers that traditional formats may overlook?
Oh, gosh, you're hitting me hard with these questions here.
Sorry.
What do you think no, do not be sorry. Do not be sorry. I think what they offer definitely is what we're used to in this day and age, is that quick episode, the thumb scrolling,
Yeah.
the sort of reel watching, even though each reel furthers the story and furthers the plot. Um, and I think they offer a little bit of ridiculousness and sort of silliness. I think these verticals are not uh, 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 deep. They don't necessarily, for the most part, maybe they do make you question your life or question moments of your life. I think I call them like sugar. They're a quick
Mm.
fix. They're fun. They're cute. The guys are eye candy. Um,
Some of the
so
women are
yeah,
too.
and the women too. Yes,
Yep.
there's a lot of eye candy in these verticals. That is for sure. Uh, so I think that's what they have to offer. And I think, many people these days they don't watch TV. And so, back when I was growing up, I would have kids like my mom watches these soap operas. And I think today these are the soap operas of today.
I
And you can
agree.
watch them anywhere if as long as you got a phone or a tablet or something, you can, you know.
Absolutely. And this like it's good because they're in like I mean I know that you've got a pause button on a normal film as well, but because they're in like little episodes, you can go, okay, I'm up to that episode and I'll come back and watch it later if I can't finish it now, type thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I've heard some people who don't do verticals. They just, they watch them. Sometimes they even like scroll through to like the next episode because some of it's like repetitive or they don't need to really watch every single episode, but yet they're
Yeah.
somehow entertained and they're intrigued. So I hear that
Yeah.
happens as well.
Yes. I one of my questions actually relates to them being repetitive.
Hmm.
Um, so this is a question that I ask everybody. If you could star in your own vertical that you would class as your perfect storyline, what would it be?
Uh, I started writing a vertical myself because honestly, I am getting a little tired of the same kind of lead characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a child of the 90s,
Yeah.
so I had lead characters like a Robin Williams or a Jim Carrey, and I'm not saying
Mm.
that they're not unattractive. They're still very attractive men. But why can't there be lead characters who are not with six pack abs and fireman calendar kind of bodies?
Yeah.
I know there's gay lead characters as well, but they also kind of fit that like hot, if you think it's hot,
Yeah.
body. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm kind of like I was like a little fed. I was watching some sort of video. I'm like I'm kind of fed up. Like I've done so many of these, and I'm not saying like I deserve a lead role, but why can't we just tell a different story? So right now I'm sort of
Yeah.
writing a story about a faulty character who is just not perfect. Nobody is, and I
Yeah.
think sometimes these verticals kind of make these characters as they're perfect, or the guy is perfect. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so he gets into a little bit of trouble, and he needs to do kind of some community service. And that service is he is forced to direct, or not forced, but he chooses or gets chosen to direct a community theater production of a Shakespeare show. And kind of
Mm.
comedy ensues from there.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of like, do you know Waiting for Guffman?
No, I don't. No.
It's a Christopher Guest film.
Okay.
So kind of like, do you know Bros, the movie Bros? It with Billy Eichner. It was
Yes,
like a
yes.
gay rom-com. So kind of like Waiting for Guffman meets Bros, and that world
Okay.
comes together.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just starting it, but I
Yeah.
would like to see, yes, other stories being told where we have other characters that are not CEOs, or they're not necessarily hunky, or they're not, yeah, they're not rich. They're not,
Yeah.
no one's getting fired. No one's getting slapped. No one's, yeah.
I agree. I
I can,
agree. I mean, I've had some interesting ideas while asking this question. So, Daniel Bateman, he wants a musical, and I'm all down for that. Bring on a
I
musical.
can't sing for whatever, but I'm down for a musical as long as it's, as long as it's written well. But I think
Absolutely.
there's so many fans out there, which what is one of my favorite parts of being in these verticals, meeting people like you and connecting with people online.
Yeah.
That I think it's only fair to give the fans what they want and keep
Yeah.
them continuously entertained. Um, and I think that's important if we want to continue doing these verticals.
Yes. I mean, as a fan, and there's a lot of fan groups, there's a lot of discussion as to what we don't want to see on screen, which I'm sure that you've seen as well. There are a lot of things that people don't like seeing, but you get that percentage of them that even though they don't like it, there's a little bit in there that intrigues them, so they keep watching it. And if they keep watching it, they're going to keep making it. So,
Yeah, and they're making. I mean, to be real honest, I feel like this past month I've sort of taken a little break from doing verticals.
yeah.
Uh, I feel like I've been kind of, I don't want to say like not respected, because there's plenty of people in the business that do, like, they care about me, they like having me on set, so on and so forth. But I do
Yeah.
feel from just not being paid on time, from
Mm.
kind of this, just like these same roles that I play. Like if I'm an assistant, I'm like, yes, boss, whatever you say, boss. Like, I kind of want something
Yeah.
a little more challenging, a little more different. But I
Yeah.
also feel that my character type is not put well into these verticals,
Yeah.
unless they're like a side, small supporting character. So I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
it's time to
Yeah.
change all that up.
Well, in that case, what is something that you want to express about yourself that people wouldn't see through your characters?
Right about myself. That even though I do love doing comedy, there is definitely a serious side of me, and I think in any great comedy, any great sitcom, they do have serious moments. So as much as sometimes I am the silly character and the goofy side character, and I love playing that,
Mm.
I know there's moments where I can definitely be sincere and
Yeah.
genuine, honest.
Yeah.
Uh, and I would like to put more of that into the characters that I play, uh,
Yeah.
in these verticals, even though a lot of these verticals, unless you're like the lead characters, you don't really get those sincere, honest, you know, moments,
Yeah. Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't really get enough time to get like a majority of the time, unless you're the lead, you don't get enough time for people to know the character enough to have like that sympathy or that, you know, engagement, if you say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the writing. Like a villain, it can be fun and be a villain and be, mean and nasty. But I feel like in the verticals, like that's the box that they're in, and they can't get out of that box. And I think to have a well-written, well-rounded character would also help with a better story. Uh,
Yeah.
why is this person so nasty and mean? And I think we can, break that down instead. They're just mean and nasty, because they don't like this person because she's a maid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, there are certain characters and like even verticals I've watched where I actually like the lead to, even though I love them, it's some of the side characters that I love more. And that's because when I watch verticals, I'm not just there for the lead characters. I deep dive into, like, there's some that I watch multiple times and I pay attention to particular people or characters when I watch it that second time or that third time to try and pick up on what they're trying to give and try and understand their storyline
Yeah.
different than just the leads. So,
Yeah. What you just stated there reminds me of when I go see theater, or musical theater, and I kind of look at like sometimes I'm not even looking at the lead characters. I'm looking at like the
yeah,
ensemble or the way the
yeah,
light is moving or the set is changing behind them, or because I find that equally as intriguing.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I think we'd all have a different perspective on what we find most amazing about um each thing, like each vertical or each theater act. It's our perspective, really.
100%. I mean that's just art. I mean, you could look at a painting and see so many different versions of what you're looking at,
Yes.
and that's how we view art,
Yeah,
and that's the beauty of art.
it is. Yeah, it is.